Labour Party.
And I'm also an associate of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators. I'm a governance, public sector, private sector framework. I develop it for them. Worked in the government in the UK, worked with government in there, and I run huge multinational projects for international companies and investment house. That's a summary of my work and background. I was the 2019 PDP senatorial candidate for Lagos East. And I won them the highest vote they've ever won in the history of Lagos East. I ran against with the late Oshinowo. The late Oshinowo before Abiru, the late Oshinowo, and scored 45% of the vote. Although I won him because I have a video where his boss is saying, Obinino, eh? I won him, but I mean, we read the story. But the result that was declared 45% of the vote. And I'm a grassroots politician. I've been in politics from my university years. And I'm a very active politician with one of the major parties in the UK. So I do grassroots politician, building structure, winning election. That is what I do. That's my specialty. You know His Excellency. Most of you have GRV. Some of you have seen him. And if you don't know him, where is that poster? He was the youngest senatorial candidate in 2019. He ran the largest senatorial candidate, that is Lagos West. And he lost by only 20,000 votes against a 3-time senator. But only 10 local government. And he lost by only 20,000 votes against Yayi. He ran against Yayi. So in 2023 and 2019 he was in now you have brain, you have tallness, you have the best looking governorship candidates, the smartest, I don't know. So his love for the youth and for the development for Lagos, you can't describe it. The vision that he has for Lagos is huge. The way that he's going to make every naira of Lagos State work for Lagosian. Every kobo, he's going to make it work for Lagosian, not for any one person or any. It's an open government. It is your government. It's an open government that will be inclusive, open government, accessible, a government that listens to its people, a government where you are not afraid to speak. We are here to serve. We don't want to be served. That's why you see me come here with just an ordinary. What did I bring there? You know Uber? Did you see Sarin? No. Did you see did I move anybody out of the road? If my principal B, I keep saying can take economy. Why am I carrying Sarin everywhere? It's a reflection. This is the time to build a Nigeria and a Lagos State we can be proud of. We need to rebuild back that institutions. Do you know what it was like? Some of you must have been here in the 70s. Am I that old? When 1 naira was £1. Do you remember that? Oh, yeah. When education was truly free. When housing, low-cost housing was truly low-cost housing. That is not distributed and among civil service, distributed. When you can actually walk into allowance and you get everything that you need. Do you remember those times? Yes. When you don't need to know somebody before you can apply for anything. When things actually work. So one of my great leaders was telling me a story of how he applied to secondary school by himself. He didn't know Jack. He didn't know nobody wrote any letter for him. Nobody called anybody. It was just a straightforward application by himself, and he got into five of the top secondary school, King's College, St. Finbar's. It was without nobody calling anybody, without nobody bribing anybody. Don't you want a service that you can just, you know that this is when it's going to start and this is when it's going to finish? Don't you want that sort of service? You know the time limit you want. That is what we're bringing. We're bringing a government where I don't get into power and all of a sudden my number disappeared. Even ordinary, my party members can no longer reach me. It's all an inclusive, accountable, open government. And you see what your taxes are doing. And most importantly, we must bring good governance. If you don't have institutions, if you don't have good governance, you have nothing. You have nothing. Because you can build road all you want, but if you don't have maintenance strategy, you don't have sustainability strategy, those roads will disappear within 4 years. That's what we have, because there's no accountability, there's no regulation. We want look at what is happening with our youth. All the best brains of Nigeria have been taken out because there's no hope. There's no hope. How do you spend 7 years in university for a 3-year course? How does it? Because they keep shorting it and opening it and shorting it and opening it and going on strike. We've got to do something. And Lagos is a mini country on its own. You know that if they line the entire 22 million people up in Nigeria, in Lagos State, we have 36 billion a month. Plus another 16 billion, 15 billion. How much is that? 65 billion. If they give each one of us 1 million, you know there still be change. Every month. Do you know that we will do something meaningful without 1 million? If you shut down government and say, you know what, don't do anything for us, just be giving us our revenue that you are collecting every month. Do you know how many people will be wealthy in Lagos State? That's how bad Lagos has gotten.
Labour Party.